In the county of Westmeath, the water ripples and the gentle breeze rustles the leaves. It's as if the lake itself is whispering its tale to those who visit her shores. All we need to do is stop for a moment and listen.
We love to tell stories. Ireland is rich in magical folklore, handed down from generation to generation. And the story we want to tell you now is of the Children of Lir.
Long ago, the Tuatha De Danann, the followers of the goddess Danu, lived in Ireland. At this time, there were many who wanted to rule the kingdom. King Lir of Boderg were two such men.
Boderg was victorious. Lir was not happy to have been defeated. Bo wished for a harmonious kingdom, and in order to appease Lir, he decided to offer him the hand of his beautiful daughter in marriage.
Aoife and Lir were blessed with 4 gorgeous children. Fionnuala, the firstborn, was followed by 3 sons, Aed and the twins, Fiachra and Con. Sadly, Aoife died. The king and his children were so very lonely, and their despair touched all of the people of the kingdom, as the family were so loved by all.
It is said that the children would ride out each day astride fabulous horses, glowing white hounds running at their heels, to all corners of the kingdom, as if in search of something they would never find.
For many months the children swept across the lands of Cool and Castlepollard. They rode like the wind across the bogs. With giant bounds the majestic steeds leapt hedges and streams. However, no matter what they did, the children were inconsolable. As they rode, they cried in sorrow for the loss of their beloved mother.
On a visit to Lir's castle near Deravara, Boderg saw the sadness in the eyes of the children, and there and then decided to offer his second daughter as wife to Lir and stepmother to her sister's children.
Aoife was considered to be the most beautiful woman in the kingdom. As time passed, however, it would become apparent that this beauty was no more than skin deep.
Aoife saw how much the king adored his children and was consumed with jealousy. She was too vain and evil to be a mother, and she came to hate the little ones.
As she looked out from the castle walls at the horses galloping through the grounds and Lir astride his powerful steed, she decided that his love and devotion would be hers, and hers alone.
She called on a servant and commanded that he take the children to the forest and kill them. The servant was horrified and could not kill the children. Terrified of Aoife's wrath, he ran away. Aoife's fury burned like a fire in her black heart, so much so that she became more determined to be rid of the children.
Pretending to take the children to visit her father, Aoife instead led them through the forest and down to the shores of Loch Derravara. As they stopped to let their horses drink, they could still see the castle in the hills.
Aoife drew her sword, but she did not have the courage to murder the children. She was, however, well versed in the ways of dark magic. She cursed the frightened siblings. She stood and watched as her evil incantation transformed the young innocents into elegant white swans.
Out with you! Out with you to the waves! I curse you, children of Lir! I will see you no more. Your cries will only be with the flocks of birds. Out with you! Swim now! Your voice is silent. Away with you! I curse you to be bound by the waves of Derravara for 300 years. 300 years on the sea of Moyle, and 300 years on the cold waters of Eris. Return not to these lands until you hear the peals of bells in the air.
Aoife, finally free of her burden, continued on to her father's castle to tell a tale of how the children had been savagely attacked and eaten by wolves. However, she did not know that the children's terrified screams were heard by the servants of Boderg, who ran to alert their master.
While Boderg was aware of his daughter's great beauty, he was also well acquainted with the darkness within her. He felt both anger and deep sadness as he cast her out.
He cursed her to become a witch of the wind. She lost her beauty and vanished in a sudden whirlwind, fated now to travel screaming with storms for all eternity.
As King Lir sat in his castle, awaiting his children's return, he could hear a gentle lament upon the breeze. Curious at this, he saddled his horse. Thundering across the hills and valleys, he came to the shores of the moonlit lake.
There he heard the mournful refrain being sung by 4 beautiful swans. The gentle whispers told him of the evil spell cast upon them.
Lir softly stroked the birds, their slender necks entwined around him, a last tender embrace. One by one they turned. The water rippled in silver streaks as they swam away into the darkness.
It is said that to this day, if you sit by the lake's edge, as the gentle breeze caresses the reeds and rustles the leaves of the forest,
if you listen very carefully, you will hear the forlorn song of Lir and his beautiful immortalized children.
Do the children still swim the lake?
Did they ever hear the bells ring?
Did a monk's blessing free their spirits?
what do I think?
I think their souls ride the waves of every water they touched.
I think that every swan I see reminds me of the legend of the lakes and the children of